Well, Natasha, the residents of Finetown have been waiting for hours for someone in authority to come and speak to them. You can see the visuals here just next to me, waiting for an official response. Yes, that meeting has been had by the leadership of this community, as well as the special advisor to the Gauteng Premier, David Makura. That's Eric Kaya. He met with the leadership of this community, and essentially what happened was that the leadership had made it very clear to him that they will continue with their protest action if a solution to their plight is not come up with as soon as possible. You know, of course, all the demands that have been made by this community, including the others where we saw these violent protests, relate to housing, the allocation of housing. What these residents have been saying is that many people who were allocated houses in this area, and the area is not too far from here, were people who were not on the housing list, and those who've been waiting for more than 20 years have been sidelined. They say they want answers. So after that engagement with the special advisor to the Gauteng Premier, we're just waiting to hear now, because one of the pressing issues the community was asking when they will have the Gauteng Human Settlements MEC come and address them here in Finetown. So the special advisor said he was going to make a call to the MEC's office to give them a definite answer about when this engagement can take place and how the MEC then would need to find tangible solutions to the challenges that this community and many others are facing here in the south of Johannesburg. So I guess in the next few minutes we'll get a definite answer about the timeline of when this meeting between the leadership of this community and the Gauteng Human Settlements MEC Paul Mashatile will take place. But what these residents are saying is that it should not take too long. We've heard quite a number of time frames that have been thrown around by the community so far, saying that meeting should happen within the next week. But they're saying they're not going to stop their protest action until that meeting does take place. And if it does not yield tangible results or solutions to their plight, they're going to continue blockading the streets and burning tires here next to the Golden Highway until someone comes with tangible answers. They say they've been waiting for, some of them have been waiting as far back as 2014 with all the promises that have been made by politicians to resolve the impasse here. Nothing has come of those promises, so they say they'll continue with that action. I think in the next few minutes now, from where I am standing, I can see the special advisor to the Gauteng Premier making that call to the MEC's office to find out when perhaps he'll be able to address this community. But the situation much calmer here in Finetown in comparison to what we saw much earlier. I think all hopes are being pinned on this time frame that the special advisor will come with, whether that's going to satisfy this community about when the MEC for Human Settlements, Paul Mashatile, will be able to meet with them.
And of course, serious security concerns with these protests, and one can't rule out the possibility of a rogue element taking advantage of the situation. How is this being handled?
Well, certainly, Natasha, what we've seen over the past few days is that these are certainly legitimate concerns that this community is raising. Issues relating to housing, to underdevelopment. This is not the first time that we're in this area. We were here last year as well, both in Finetown and in Ennerdale, which is just a stone's throw away from where I am standing. These are legitimate concerns, and I think the Gauteng provincial government has acknowledged that indeed there does seem to be a backlog. But yes, the criminal element has certainly crept into these protests. You saw the visuals that you played much earlier on today on SABC News of shops that were looted overnight in Ennerdale, and further threats of violence that these communities say will continue if their demands are not met. Certainly, you know, the discontent that you're seeing, many would label it as frustration that's been boiling over for many years, where residents now say their only resolve is to take to the streets and damage property, irrespective irrespective of whether it's criminal or not, they say they will do anything to get the authorities' attention and to get them to come and address them here. They say that it's only when they take to the streets, burn tires, that you find the authorities coming to address them and making promises about when they're going to sort out or try and find solutions to their problems. So certainly that criminal element has crept in at this stage, and police are certainly having their hands full trying to contain what are legitimate concerns, as well as the criminal element that has crept in of looting and stones that are being pelted as well at passing cars, in particular here on the Golden Highway, where police have really tried to push back residents.
Griselda, thanks so much. We'll leave it there and get more from you at a later stage. Griselda Lewis reporting live from Finetown near Ennerdale.